the end of this video, I'm going to put some pictures that prove my point, including when I'm 17 years old, and some sparring matches, still images that show the distance I'm covering. Right? I kind of strike high, and then I strike low so fast from a long distance that the guy doesn't have time to recover. This video, last I remember it, if I remember correctly, was slowed down on YouTube, and they have a long history of slowing down my videos, and that is neither here nor there. And obviously, I want you to ask yourself, is it fair when they're doing this, and I'm a brain surgeon's son, and I've been a grand champion for many years, to then start playing them out using their own kind of angle, right? Which is they have a racial angle, they're eugenicists, and they believe that whites and Asians and Jews are superior to black people, and that black people are subhuman, and they have been propagating this falsehood in many ways ever since. And that's why institutional racism, redlining, gentrification, we can go through the list. So it's then fair to say, hey, you know, you're a bunch of Bill Gates kind of guys, kind of George Bushes, fraternity weirdos, and we were the Shaka Zulus who expelled you. You see how the more they take away from my image, they make it so I have to wear glasses, okay? And not even regular glasses. This blocks a certain filter of light for video game, right? I can't even review my videos. You know, if eye and ear problems, ear-eye, that's the wordplay. Okay, I once was lost, and now I'm found, blind, and now I see. They're trying to make me suck a rainbow dick to fucking get my eyesight back. They drug the water, and of course you're born in water, birthed, right? You know, the birth of a nation, the Illuminati's obsessed with waters. We can go on and on about water spirits, the Hydra dragon, Hydra, hydration, Hydra, shun, okay? Poise and poison, posture. Okay, poise on Heliopolis, poise in, right? We can go on and on about the wordplay that screams that they drug water and the history of drugging water and poisoning kings and Shakespeare plays and so on and so forth. But I think you get the idea. They're basically acting like coercive bitches. That's why homosexuality and the LGBT community is an all-time high and all this stuff, because they're coercing people like they coerce people in prison. I mean, we see this all the time. I'm not saying every gay person was coerced, but you're an idiot if you think people aren't turned out. I mean, just do some quick research into prostitution and think about how that plays out in San Francisco. Now think about the surrounding towns when the price of living goes up in San Francisco. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to see this. These are just simply the facts of life. They're spreading this with a corporate kind of spread and this kind of corporate conspiracy to raise the prices of homes, which ultimately is one way to gentrify people. When black people are 13% and own less than 1/2 of the capital. It doesn't take a genius to see you can use money to kind of make it so that attractive women shun them. Talking about that, this video is actually about just that, okay? Remember, there's 36 million plus sex workers in the world. You think a woman is born, you know, with a thong in her hand saying she wants to be a sex worker? Certainly this is a consequence of this kind of fraternal order, new world order, right? Police, law and order, social norms. And social norms directly translate into the social order. If it is socially normative to kill people for immorality, okay, and to cling on to true morality, we have a true moral world. Obviously, American values include embracing a fanatic embrace of immorality, which has led to an immoral social order, and it made it so that no attractive women have love in their heart, and unattractive women are too broken to have love as well. And every generation, as they serve their attractive masters and the weirdos that marry them, they're more and more broken. They're breeding toward evil. You know, how do things evolve? They evolve relative to the environment, the ecosystem, and so on and so forth. And when you add the martial art truths, the universal truths, universal morality of the accompanying moral code, living itself becomes immoral after I die. And I've gone over this time and time again. When you look at it and you say, hey, we took this planet from those people, it's wrong for us to live here. It's like if I killed you and brainwashed your wife to be with me, okay, for me to redeem myself, repent, I must give her up. And so it is with the planet. It's even called Mother Earth. The planet is like a whore that you have taken unfairly and brainwashed to serve you. And the only way that you and your descendants can be right is to give it up, is to die. Okay? Because you can't then leave the planet, you can't even leave the planet and be right, because your very existence is a stolen existence. Okay, your genes are the genes of attractive women that you have brainwashed and killed. So when we look at, for those of you who are skeptical this time, let's look at my life story real quickly. Let's go back to high school in Morgan Hill. Okay, so I went to one of these high schools in Morgan Hill, and basically there was thousands of students, and there was maybe we'll call them maybe 200-300 really attractive ones, right? Eights and nines. Okay. pretty much no 10s because of their breeding. There's no graceful, suitable woman for a moral martial artist. There's just hypocritical, racist, church-going females, kind of cowgirls, kind of yuppie girls, kind of slutty cheerleader types, slutty kind of swimming teams, volleyball team types, whether they had these teams or not, okay? You know the types, okay? There was kind of druggies, there were thugs, there was squares, skater girls, and so on and so forth. I mean, you can pretty much gather, you know, what types of people were there. None of them have a scale of universal morality. Almost all of them have a scale of social norms, and then there's the kind of weirdo groups who are seen as weird, at least by the other groups, who then kind of group together and say, hey, you know, they're kind of nerds, kind of unpopular, and that's how it is, okay? And all these other groups are aware of those groups, and they don't want to end up like that, so they end up sucking a social norm dick and going to parties and getting turned out, and this happens generation after generation. The football parties, okay, the yuppie parties, they get them drunk and have sex with them, and nobody knows what happened, and oh, keep it on the hush because I don't want my dad to know that, you know, we were partying at our house, and don't ruin it for everybody, so don't tell anybody that you were raped. And this is planned, and they're building on these ideas every generation to the point where they're basing, their Greek societies are based on rape deities. Poseidon was a rapist. Zeus raped multiple people, including little boys, Ganymede. You know, we can go on and on. Hades, you know, these are the children of Saturn, the three sons of Saturn. They rape, okay, all throughout mythology, okay? And everything they have is an ill-gotten gain. And they killed their father to take over the world, and their father castrated his father, and they're from a long line of scum. So there's a lot we can get, you know, their forefathers are scum, they're rapists, they're scum. The Greek societies that maintain Western values are scumbags, and they keep raping people every generation. Now, some people will get offended. This is the facts. They would prefer I don't talk about this, and the rapes keep going on, the thieving keeps going on, and these people are seen as good. Those families, right? Some of them work in mental health, some in law enforcement, some in schools, right? They spread out into different institutions. They're the managerial class for the new secular order of the corporate elite for the entire world, where they insist that you adopt to their corporate bitch and give up any religious-derived morality or any conceptions of monarchy. They have to destroy in your minds the martial art hero, the honest moral king, the idea of a king in the first place, okay? And your religious values where they touch on morality, where they can plug in their new age bitch and their corporate direction, their government teachings like they do with Islam and Christianity on record to an extreme degree, mind you, that you can keep that. You can go to church as long as you date the rapist and worship the devil and not God is the rule of thumb here. They're a bunch of fucking scum. They all should be killed immediately. No way, no how can they have love. No way, no how can they have God. So at this school, they were rubbing in my face all these attractive women. Right? I'll make sure I remember to put at the end of the video, me when I'm 17. You can tell that I'm a man. I'm a real man at 17. I'll put the picture next to Scott Adkins and Bruce Lee. I would have outmaneuvered Scott Adkins and cut out his heart at 17 years old. Same with Bruce Lee. I was a man, I was tough, I was focused. I was in this masculine kind of pressure cooker for generations martial arts spirit of Africa as the most moral tribe from the King of Kings line that God himself through righteousness and love elevated. Nobody loved as hard as the patriarchal line in my family, and to some degree the matriarchs. No one loved as hard as they did. No one was intensely moral. No one had the focused moral intensity and expressed through martial arts. And I go on and on about, Psalms 19, Psalms 89, Malachi 4, Jeremiah 24, Exodus 18:3, where it makes it clear the Lord thy God is a warrior. The Lord is a warrior. The Lord is his name. The Lord is with me like a mighty warrior, and this warrior spirit was bestowed upon his servant David, which established the martial art line. And Jesus is said to come on a cloud. That's figuratively speaking. He comes through the line of David. He's the root and the offspring of David, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And the spirit that was in David is the spirit of God. It's that simple. Jesus is not going to be coming in on a cloud. I am Jesus. I am the offspring of David, and the spirit that I'm in is the root of David, and it's David. It doesn't matter if he's a Jew, if he's an African. When you look at the world, who is the most righteous person? How can any group, based on their religious narrative, steal that from this person? So the Bible is not pointing to me. It is by Baal, and that's the reason. If it is, it's for the purpose of executing me, because it's still by Baal, by Baal, Babel, okay? Jezebel. We can go on and on. Tinker Bell, just bitches everywhere, okay? And Bell, Ball, if you look at his depiction, if I remember, I'll put it there, he's an immoral kind of beta warrior. And where are they going with this? They're putting chips in your brain. If you do not put chips in your brain and adapt to the transhumanist and technological direction of humanity, you get left behind like the unpopular kids in high school times infinity and screened out. So love is not allowed. So in high school, they were persecuting me for insisting on love and trying to play me out as what the Greeks would call mania. Mania is a form of love as fixation, saying I've got to have this one person, I love her. If I can't have her, I don't want to be with anybody. Okay? It's like the Alicia Keys song, if I can't have you, I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby. Okay, this idea, they would call her mania, right? Because they're orgy societies. They pass their women around like they do in America. They date like 10 guys and have a loose crater pussy, and they marry some rich nerd. That is the culture. That is not love. Dating a bunch of knucklehead jocks and pussy cowards and then marrying some rich fucking secret society fraternal puss does not make you someone in love. That is how you make an abomination. How could it be any other way? And Americans go on and on about how deplorable the craft is, and then they marry some Mason, or they marry somebody who was under the tutelage of Masonry. Which also goes back to the idea of the martial art order. Okay, the martial art order isn't a kitten. It isn't a bull. It is a leopard. It's kind of like the cheetah versus the cat. Who strikes faster? When you cover this much distance, right? Who strikes faster? Okay, it's like who runs faster, the cat or the leopard or the cheetah? Okay, the cat or the cheetah. The cheetah does because of the body structure and the accompanying mind. You add the spirit of God, the body takes form. You take away the spirit that this person trained in and the natural instinctual moves that he does, he'll probably strike slower. That's all that is. Kung Fu is a system that's designed to make it so Asians strike fastest. Chinese guys. Taekwondo is designed to make Koreans strike fastest. Karate, Japanese, right? When you go into your body aesthetic and your body structure, mind, body, soul, and spirit, and connect to your proper spirit, then you have a higher chance of striking faster. And when everyone's given their proper spirit, the African order emerges. We're all Africans, and those who stayed in the pressure cooker in the heart of Africa, the most populated place with these Kimbo slices, Debos, Shaka Zulu times 10 type motherfuckers clashing, and we're taking each other on, and I'm gutting, boom, with a long ass spear, throwing him aside. This guy comes in, block my shield, boom, got him and stick him in the fucking neck, in this intense, you have these huge guys that if you don't outmaneuver them effectively, you're done. Okay, this is not for a bunch of betas who don't have the heart to insist on the true spirit of God, which is what all these other martial artists are. This is for only he who has the heart to emerge. And of these people, they emerge and they look around and say, who else has heart? Boom. And that's how you figure out who's who. And that happened for many, many years, long time ago. It was established, Eri, the heart of hearts. Noah's Ark. Noah, to Noah. There's no A here. There's a flood. Food L. They're concerned with fertility and food. Flood, food. Okay, food L. L, mentally L, and L as Lord. So when everyone's like, I want the food, acting like bitches, they're like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go to the heart of Africa where people have heart and focus on the warrior spirit of God. Again, what was it? Exodus 18:3 and Jeremiah 24. Boom. Cush will obey God. Cush and Judah come together. Ebo. The Lion of Judah. Okay, is it the Harry Potter of Judah? Use your fucking heads. It's that simple. You know them by their works. And it's an unnatural culture where people breed toward beta after sleeping with a bunch of knucklehead jocks who get their devil due. So Ball is like a football jock, right? He's a bull. He's also a sissy kind of guy, right? He's a sissy mixed with a bull, kind of candy-faced football jock. And then you have the jackal set. Jack all, Ball, be all, Jack all. He's the nerd, Bill Gates, Bezos, Warren Buffett, all these kind of guys. Okay, so now that we've established that definitively, basically they had a bunch of hot chicks in high school kind of mocking me, like, I'm dating this guy. They're basically in the children of people in Greek society, sororities, Eastern Star, Masons, and they're told to reinforce this bitch culture so every generation their bitch-ass family can be seen as important by the stupid bitches who don't transcend their beta bitch. Any questions?